Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for units for Wednesday, the 24th day of June. Today's our last one on how we're not supposed to shame food. So today's beginning halacha is that you're not allowed to cut up a piece of bread if you're cutting it up over the top of another food, such that, let's say that food underneath is wet, moist, it's a soup or something, and if a piece of bread falls in there, it's going to become kind of distasteful and no one's going to want to eat that piece of bread. So you're basically risking having that piece of bread be wasted. So you're not allowed to cut up bread over the top of a soup or something like that. If you are one of those types of people that just loves the gravy, let's say at the bottom of your plate, and you want to scoop up some of that gravy with a delicious piece of challah and then eat that piece of challah with the gravy in it, then you're totally allowed to do that. That's just eating. And if that's how you like to eat your bread, then go for it. So you could dip your challah in gravy or wipe the gravy off of your plate or however it works for you, and then eat that piece of bread. If you're going to wipe the plate with bread and then not eat that bread, then of course it's not allowed. This next halacha is going to sound like common sense, but it is also a halacha, and that is that you should not let a messy child take with his hands from the serving tray that's in the middle of the table. And that's because when he touches the food on that serving tray, it's going to gross everybody else out. They're not going to want to eat any of it, and food might go to waste. However, the halacha does say that if it's tight family members who are familiar with this child and love him, and it doesn't really bother them when he touches their serving tray, then it's going to be okay, as you might expect. If you have a child playing on the floor and your floors are pretty clean and it's okay with you to just give him a little piece of bread, put it on the floor right in front of him, although you're okay with that and you feel your floors are clean enough and he eats messy food anyway, but halachically you're still not allowed to put out the food for him on the floor. It's still just plain disrespectful to the piece of bread, so do not do that. If he's playing on the floor and you want to give him a piece of bread and you put it down on a paper plate or something, that's fine. If he inadvertently has it fall off of the paper plate, that's not something that you did, and that's the better way to arrange the thing. There are people who have a custom to throw fruit on Simchas Torah. I don't know if you've ever seen this custom, but this custom is considered improper if it will cause the food to be ruined and thereby wasted, and that's our point in these halachas. So you shouldn't be doing that if the fruit is going to get wasted. That's kind of obvious. Now, lastly, we've told you about how you're not allowed to pass over bread. Excuse that pun. Not allowed to just leave bread lying there, and you should put it away. And so, but what do I do with bread after it's time for it to go? So I want to put it in the trash, but the trash is basically a dishonorable place for the bread. So if you need to throw out bread, the best thing to do is to wrap it in its own separate little baggie and then put that bag in the garbage, and that's considered more respectful to the bread. Rabbi Belsky adds that if the bread is all hardened or ruined or almost near where no one wants to eat it, then it's okay to just put it in the plain trash because no one's planning to eat that bread anyway. It's kind of like not edible at that point. Thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Brand new topic tomorrow, God willing. Bye-bye.